Hey guys, Aqua Duelist here, and when I uploaded my last video, which I believe was Monday, I noticed we hit 150 subs. I want to first of all say thank you guys so much because we couldn't have gotten here without you guys. Really happy to even be at that point. 150 subs. I think that's really awesome, and I honestly, when I made the channel, wasn't expecting I'd ever even get to 100 subs. So yeah, thank you guys so much for that. So I want to do something a little different, unique for 100 as a 150 sub special. I want to share my personal favorite spicy techs that I've been using over the last few years, and just in the game, different decks, and kind of share what they did, what made them work, and how they worked, kind of. So hopefully you guys decide to try these out or give these cards a second look if you guys have, or first look if you guys haven't seen these. First card I want to mention is Constellar Zubin Schmally. Now this I know I mentioned a couple times on the channel because I used it in Duelist, and I'm pretty sure actually in the last build I uploaded, I was playing this and Thunder Dragon because I know this card can get compared to Thunder Dragon, and it's kind of like a Galaxy Soldier. So it's a level 5 light machine, which I do want to mention. And when this card is normal special summon, you can add a Constellar monster from deck to hand. So you can add itself, or it can add itself. So the idea was when I used it, was my Dominus deck was able to make Skull Dread without Pendulum summoning. So I would get my Skull Dread, Pendulum summon this, and then what would happen is it would add a second Constellar Zoom and Schmally, which then I would use Scoldred's effect to summon to get the third one, and then now I have two of these guys on the field. I could go into either Star Dragon Infinity or Constellar Pleiades, which I also felt like was a very good option, mainly because it's kind of like a compulsory evacuation device. Actually, Pleiades is a compulsory evacuation device on legs, and Compulse has been seeing quite a bit of play lately. Ever since it kind of came off, went to 3 really. It kind of, I know some people were kind of using it, but now it's definitely seeing play. So if you guys want to use that as put that in your extra deck. If you guys decide to want to use this, go for it. So yeah, this card's actually very cheap. You do have a secret rare version, and you also have a what you call it, dual terminal version. Both are actually very cheap. Just so we can see this, you guys can see this real quick. So yeah, the dual terminal is actually not much. Actually, a couple cents more. Except we have this one dude who's got quite a bit with 10 cents. So that's actually right now for a little bit of time. It's going to be very cheaper, or a little bit cheaper than the secret, until all those quantities get bought out. So yeah, Zubin Schmally buyout. Why not? Let's go for it. So second card I want to mention is Cybersquatting Dragon, and oh my gosh, this card's insane. I remember when Strike came out, and I saw what was it or when it was coming out, Cali Effect was talking about this, and I thought this thing was stupid. This thing is great, and I used it, and I realized how good it was. Despite this card not seeing really any play, it's actually really crazy, really good, and I feel bad because this is such a great card. If you don't know what it does, well, you control a link monster. Monsters your opponent controls cannot target monsters you control for attacks except this one, and also your opponent cannot target monsters you control with card effects except this one. That is some ridiculous protection. You do have to control a link monster though, but what I used it in, this was really great. Let me finish reading the effect and I'll explain. Once per turn, at the start of the damage step, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you can return that monster to the hand, or opponent's hand, and then this card can make a second attack in a row. So, what I actually ended up playing this in was Salamangreats. And the reason why was because I honestly, looking at the main combo they had before, was it Fox? No, not Foxy. Gazelle. Gazelle and Circle got hit. That's when I just dropped the deck. I just didn't. I lost interest in it. What I did was I ended up I just kind of realized, oh well, the combo ends with Jack Jaguar still on the field, and Psychic Wielder was a tech option I decided to play, and I realized if I drew my Psychic Wielder, I could make this at the end of my combo. And this, just being, this crazy protection monster with essentially that can attack twice and is a non-targeting Compulse, was very, very dumb. It's kind of insane. And the thing was, this worked very well with Salamangreats because they actually have a Link monster at the end of their combo. Like, just the way the combo was, it was very, very, pretty good. So this in a mirror matchup was actually a big issue for my opponent. And if I was able to make this in the mirror matchup, every time my opponents would scoop, I realized. They didn't actually have a way to out this card. Oh, sorry. And honestly, this is the first time I've looked at this card in quite some time, ever since I dropped Salamangreats, and this card's sitting at $5 right now, or roughly around $5, a little more. You got a few here that are like close to $4.25-ish. Well, that one you have to pay shipping, so $5. But yeah, you get shipping on them. It's $5. So, like, I remember this card being, like, around $2. I think the lowest I ever got picked up this card for was, like, $1.60. So, yeah, definitely, if I sold the copies I picked up, I'd definitely be making a little bit of money. So, yeah, really good card. You guys should give this a try. Next card I want to talk about. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is a spicy tech is because recently, because we got Gallant Granite. I'm not going to go too much into this because I do want to kind of do a video on Gallant Granite itself. I know Jazif's doing one, so I'm debating on whether I really want to do that, or better yet, talk about the kind of like little engine or package I made for him in general, or just specifically. But I don't know. I know I'm gonna do at least one of the two, so we're not gonna go into this a ton. But I do want to mention this is a rock monster, so Gallant Granite can search it. Now, if you're able to make Gallant Granite without normal summoning, and then you're able to just drop this, that's very, very, like, I don't know. To me, I think it's kind of crazy. The bear statues are weak in general, but they do cause a problem for the opponent, and what happens is most of the time they have to essentially normal summon that can beat over it, and then go into their second main phase, and then go through their combo and such. So it does prevent your opponent from OTKing, but off chance, they don't have a normal monster, they don't have something that can normal summon, or like they just don't have something that can beat over it, which, I mean, it's kind of a little sad, but this card can essentially become a problem. Just disrupt, like, naturally this card just kind of disrupts your opponent. So I do love the bear statues. I do feel like this is something to mention as a spicy tech because we have Gallant Granite now. I mean, even the bear statues themselves haven't seen play in quite some time, I've noticed. So I guess you they could be considered spicy techs in general, but I don't know. That's my thought on this. Now, a newer card I want to mention that actually came out with is it gonna load? Come on, TCG player. Don't do this. Here we go. Okay, came out in Chaos Impact is Jelly Cannon. I know Dazif mentioned this card in, I think it was not the last video he did, the one before where he talked about the 5 cards that are better than you think. And I actually very much agree with him on this. I do think this card. Well, I think this card is pretty good. When a monster declares an attack, you target one monster on the field and shuffle back into the deck. And the thing I like is it can be used aggressively, just like he said. It can also be used defensively too. I mean, but if that's the case, why not use a Mirror Force? The thing I do like is, it does have that dual aggressive and defensive, versatility, which I feel like I don't know. There's not a ton. Oh, no, that's not the way I want to say it. I don't know. It's just like there's of all the cards in the game, we're like over 10,000 cards at this point. There's only so much of them that have that capability of just being aggressive and defensive, and that's something I do really like about this card. Haven't got to use this a crap ton yet, as this literally just came out. But I do feel like it's worth mentioning as a spicy tech, as I don't think this card is going to be seeing a ton of play, as at least for quite a while. But later down the road, I could definitely see this card seeing some play. Now, next card I want to talk about, kind of don't want to talk about though. Self-Destruct Ants. Kind of wanted to keep this for a secret for a little bit longer. But it's a level 3 insect, flip effect. Each player takes 1,000, and then it says, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect sent to the graveyard, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. You can only use each effect once per turn. So here's the thing with this card. I haven't taken this to a locals yet, but I have done quite a bit of testing with it. And this card can steal some games. I'm gonna say that. For those of you who kept up the channel for a little while recently, know I really love playing Ballpark, and although I haven't shown this in any Ballpark deck profiles because I've been really wanting to keep this secret. It's kind of just really, really stupid. Essentially being able to burn your opponent for 2,000. I mean, we're kind of at this point where, we're at a point where life points don't matter until they get so low. And when your opponent's life points are low, this could be a problem. Definitely a definite game thief, game stealer. And that's something I actually really like. It's just something no one ever really sees coming. So it's really, really funny and really interesting whenever I do pull this off in my testing. So yeah, it's just something I kind of want to mention. It is a common. This card's like very, very cheap. I mean, what was it? I think it was in Circuit Break. I think is when this card came. Not Circuit Break. I forget. What was the other set it was in? Because it was in the Megatons. Maybe it was Circuit Break actually. Yeah, it was Circuit Break. I was right. So this card came out in Circuit Break. Again, both commons. Like, you can get this card for literally a couple cents. Just a random kind of card that I tried out and fairly like. So last card I want to mention, and this is for like very specific decks. And I'll share what I used it in. But Ring of Magnetism. So probably a year before I made this, or before I made this channel, I was playing Melodious still. Well, actually, it was I kind of stopped playing Melodious because of Lynx when they originally came out, but I played Melodious for a long time. And a spicy tech that I played in the deck was Ring of Magnetism. Because if you're unfamiliar with Melodious, essentially they have a boss monster that just protects itself it has some insane protection. When it came out, very few cards could essentially really out it. just overall a problem to deal with. And then if you whenever you battled a special summon monster, it got destroyed, or your opponent's special summon monster got destroyed, and your opponent took damage. I think it was like equal to either the difference or the monster's original attack. Or the monster's attack. I can't remember which one exactly. It's been a little bit since I've used them. But what I would do is I played 2 copies of this in my deck. The reason why I played 2 was because it was a card that you didn't want you wanted to see, but you didn't want to see 2 copies of. And the rule is if you don't want to see more than 1 copy in your if you only want to see 1 copy in your hand, you play it at 2. Play it at 3, you got to be okay with seeing 2 copies in your hand. This was definitely not that. But what it does is this card can only be equipped to a monster on your side of the field. Its attack and defense decreased by 500, and all monsters your opponent's side of the field must attack the monster equipped with this card if your opponent chooses to attack. So what I would do is I'd make my fusion monster and then equip it with this, bringing its attack points down to 0 because it only had 500. And essentially now my opponent had no choice but to attack that monster, take damage, lose their monsters. And it was just like this, it was really hilarious whenever it happened. And half the time when it happened, my opponent would actually scoop. So, very, very old card though. All the way back from Metal Raiders, was in the starter deck Pegasus, and was also in Dark Beginnings 2. It's kind of, I don't know, I would say it's kind of sad that I know like exactly like these old cards, like the printings and stuff they had. But I do like seeing older Yu-Gi-Oh cards and all that stuff. So yeah. Very old card that worked fairly well in the deck. As of what can it be used in today, honestly, I'm not too sure. Although, I mean, if you guys do decide to play Melodious, definitely a little spicy tech to try out. I just can't think of anything else to really put this deck in, which is an issue. But if you guys would think you guys have a deck that this could work in, go ahead and give it a try, honestly. So yeah, those are the spicy techs that some like my favorite spicy techs that I've used over the years. That honestly don't really see play. I mean, other than the barrier statue, because barrier statue stun was a thing for quite a long time. And honestly, I still like that. I would like to see a modern day barrier statue stun deck, which we might see on the channel maybe. I don't know. We might see that. I'm just gonna say it might happen. So yeah. So thank you guys for watching. You guys got any super or any like spicy text that you guys want to share? Go ahead and drop them down in the comments. If you guys want to subscribe for more content, hit that subscribe button somewhere down there. There should be a like button down there too. Give this video a like if you liked it. Comment whatever comments you got and spicy text you guys want to share. And if you guys want to join my Discord server, support the channel or Patreon or on Patreon, or check out my Facebook page, which now I think about it, I haven't checked on in a little bit. I'm gonna have to get back on that. Link in the description to those are down below. For those of you who are keeping on the Facebook page, sorry I haven't been on there for a little bit. Work is hectic. I work working 6 days a week, so yeah, sorry guys. I promise to get back on there and be posting stuff on there, and hopefully we can get more videos up on the channel again. That would be really cool. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video.